What's cracking? Early in the morning, on my way to a job to get it in, get them dollars. And this is try to be quick on this one. This is I used to try to promote shows, call myself a music promoter back in the day. And I did a couple of things, but nothing ever made me really no money and shit, because I didn't promote it right. Anything to do, if you promote it right, you're gonna make some money. Don King can he can promote 2 fighters, 2 bums, and sell that motherfucker out. It just like the way it's promoted. But anyway, first concert I ever threw. I came from Oklahoma. Went to Oklahoma, got me a bag, came back to California, and my dudes is rapping. They had some rap crews and they were doing shows and shit. A couple of my boys are doing promote comedy shows. It was going down, and so I wanted to get involved. So I had a little bag, and one of my dudes got at me and shit, and he was like, well, I asked him, how do you get on? How do you do these concerts? How do you do this and all this old type shit, which was kind of easy. He put me on. So the first concert I ever tried to promote and I ever did was E40 and In Too Deep. And In Too Deep was these white boys out of Vallejo, California, and they was more popular than E40 and them. I mean, maybe they wasn't more popular, but they had a more popping song. It was called Back to the Hotel, and I'm going to try to put that in there somewhere. And so they were more popular. And E40 was opening up for them. You guys probably never heard of. You guys have probably never heard of In Too Deep. But y'all might have heard of the song Back to the Hotel. Back to the Hotel. But anyway, so I don't know how to promote a show. I'm trying to budget it a little bit. And all this old type shit. And the motherfuckers that's giving me the game, they not giving me the total game because they trying to pinch my pockets. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm getting like weirded out about these niggas that I'm fucking with because they ain't being 100%. They trying to get a little payout of me. And I'm gonna give everybody they just do, but damn, don't be just trying to do a nigga and shit. So throw the concert and shit. It's in Northern California, kind of like Central California. I forgot. I threw it in Merced or Atwater, somewhere at the fairgrounds and shit. And so, motherfuckers started coming thick, right? I had some tickets for sale at May's Beauty Supply, and I was selling in them a couple other places at this record store and shit like that. And they were selling out, but they didn't sell out all the way. And I made option for people to come in. You could get if you don't buy your ticket now, you pay a little bit more at the door. And so motherfuckers showed up at the door, and man, they came thick than a motherfucker. And I was promoting. I had motherfuckers promoting. I was promoting on the radio, and I was promoting y'all come as you are. Wear what you want to wear and all this old shit. Now I know why people promote shows and shit like that. They be like having dress codes and shit like that. And cause when these niggas started coming, man, it was the early 90s, man. The Crippin' and Blood and the shit was at an all-time high, man. They was banging like pots and pans and shit. And so them niggas came out, grime in the motherfucker. I'm talking about the Crips and Bloods came out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bay Area cats, they came out, man. I mean, all the wolves. And I had connections from all over, all over California. So I had a little bit of everybody there. And that I knew that was part of the hip-hop industry and rap industry, music industry. I had a little bit of everybody there support me and shit. So it was kind of like different crews and cliques from all over California. So I wasn't tripping like that's kind of like the wrong thing to do. That's kind of like the wrong thing to do because, everybody don't get along like that. So they came thick. And I got my daddy, he's working we got one ticket booth, and I got my daddy working at the ticket booth, and he giving out tickets and shit like that. And he was like, man, these motherfuckers coming in, they're scaring me and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they kind of intimidate my dad. Oh, that's too much money and all. I mean, my daddy kind of scared and shit, working at the booth and shit. And so, I go get my partner MB. He got a 45 and shit. I set him behind my daddy and shit. I say, man, sit here beside my daddy and shit and watch him and make sure, you know, he's all right. So he sat with the pistol behind my daddy and shit. And, these niggas was coming in thick than a motherfucker, man. They coming in thick, man. I don't know how to control this shit. And I got 4 security guards. And they was some skinny white motherfuckers. They didn't have no batons, no guns, no nothing, right? And one of them was a girl, man. How they gonna handle all these motherfucking monster beasts, apes and wolves, and, you know, it was lion, tigers, and bears up in that motherfucker, right? And they coming in thick, and you can feel the tension. Ain't nobody, you know, I had a couple of people rapping, you know, on the you know, opening up acts and shit like that, and they was ran up the crowd, you know, everybody's set was getting reared up, and it was getting thick, right? And then I get a call on the walkie-talkie, like, you know, a whole bunch of Crips just snuck in through the back gate, right? So I go out through the back patio area, you know, and they had like probably a 10, 15-foot gate. These motherfuckers climbed over that motherfucker, like 20, 30 motherfuckers from Stockton, right? They came in and I went and stopped them and shit. And I couldn't get them all. Like, if y'all ain't got no ticket stubs, y'all got to get out of here and shit like that. And one dude was like, man, and one dude that I had opened it up for me, he was like, man, they're my homeboys. Why you kicking them out? Your homeboys. I said, man, fucker, this is my show. He was like, your homeboys is in here. I don't give a fuck. This is my show, motherfucker. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You got 30, 40 motherfuckers coming in and shit. You know what I'm saying? You would have hollered at me about something. Maybe we could have did something. But anyway, he was mad about it. So tension was starting and shit. I had my little brother, he was in the only dressing, we didn't have no dressing room, so they had this one room, so everybody was at the motel. Motel was close to the place, and before we started, before all the artists were at the motel, Too Short, I mean not Too Short, but E40 and then Too Deep was at the hotel, and my little brother in the dressing room, and it's all the people that's rapping on the opening card, they up in there. So it's motherfucker from Sacramento, Frisco, Oakland, San Jose, Stockton, Modesto, it's Merced, it's all kind of motherfuckers in this motherfucking dressing room. This kind of long, skinny ass shotgun house looking dressing room and shit. Gambling, shooting dice. And so I get a call, like, you know, then I get a call my brother, you know what I'm saying, he fighting in the dressing room. So I get a call, you're going up in there, and my brother getting there, so I had to help him out, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And in a little fight, you know, I'm the promoter and shit. I'm dressed up and shit like that. And I'm like, nigga. And so I smashed my little brother like, nigga, goddamn, you know, this is my show, my first show. Goddamn, you can't be fucking up like that. Up and all, they was on me and all this old shit. So it's whatever and shit. So that was that, right? And Chaz Hayes, you know what I'm saying? E40's manager and shit. I don't know if he still manages E40. And I don't know if you remember this. He hit me up like it was somebody on stage rapping and shit, and the tension was getting thick. And I know my partner was one of the only motherfuckers that I knew snuck in with a gun, but there's probably a few guns up in that motherfucker. And so I'm sitting on the side of the stage and shit, standing on the side of the stage, me and a couple other motherfuckers and shit, and Roy Dean come to me and say, hey, man, it's pretty thick in here, man. You're going to have to calm this crowd down before I bring any more artists up in here, man, because, man, it's pretty thick up in there, man. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I get on stage, right? I get the microphone after one dude get performing and shit, get through performing. I get on the stage, grab the mic, and I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm just trying to do something for the area, man. Can we, you know, basically, can we all get along type message and shit like that? You know, I'm trying to do something for the area and all this old shit. Can we all get along type shit, right? And as soon as I got finished saying that, if you guys ever watched the Malcolm X movie, when dude say, get your hands out of my pocket, and then shot and pandemonium struck after that, that's what it seemed like. All of a sudden, somebody says something, and the crowd split it like the Red Sea, and a shot was fired. Bow! And man, pandemonium struck. Man, everybody started running, yelling, screaming, cussing, fussing, jumping on each other, running over each other, all kind of crazy ass shit, trying to get up out of there. And And outside, man, it just went off, man. I mean, it was Beirut out in that motherfucker. I'm telling you, man, you heard every gun, bah, 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 boom, 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 ta, 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 boom, boom. You heard all kind of shit outside. So motherfuckers outside was trying to get back inside, right? And we trying to hold the doors closed, man. And man, I look outside. I'm trying to let a couple of motherfuckers in. I look outside, and it's like 20 sheriffs just parked, letting the shit go down. I'm like, I mean, it was hella carloads and hella cars of lowriders and everybody out there, man. They couldn't stop what was going on. And man, it went up out there, man. And later on after that, right, you know, shit died down. I lost my money and all this old shit. And I'm like, fucked off. I come to find out that one of my boy who helped me with the promoting the show, that didn't really help me do shit, you know, but you know, try to get my pockets and shit. He was outside, he had somebody outside scalping tickets, right? Like, this motherfucker, right? Can't trust no motherfucker but nobody. Nigga trying to do something and shit. Niggas always trying to fuck other niggas. And so, I got to get out here and get to work. That's my story on that. My first concert, E40 and In Too Deep. And In Too Deep was more popular than E40 back then as far as radio play goes. And, you know, back then they wouldn't play a lot of rap music on the radio anyway. And In Too Deep was one of the rap songs that they play. And so, yeah, that's my story on that, man. First concert ever thrown. And I threw a concert after that, man. And I wasn't never too lucky at throwing the shows. I've been trying a lot of shit. I threw a concert with DJ Pooh, Dangerous Dame, and Ray Love. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them brothers out of Oakland and Frisco. I think Dame from Oakland and Ray Love out of Frisco. And they had some songs back in the day that was popping on New Year's Eve. I tried to throw another concert. 50 people showed up at that motherfucker, man. 50 motherfucking people. I didn't promote that motherfucker. I lost all my motherfucking money. You know, the artist got paid, but I lost all my motherfucking money and shit. And went back to hustling, man. Tried it, man. And I stayed trying to do it, but I never could get it right, you know. Well, that was my thing on that, man. Rock Beat 3 on the motherfucking tree. Let me get back to work before they start saying something. Rock Beat, one love.